After a few months since the last few celebrations, we are back to continue them, as the Queens all across the United Kingdom are about to unite once again to perform for the very first time in a brand new place in East Cambridgeshire, that is the city of Peterborough. And don't forget to also join me, Jack Wright, exclusively live here on YouTube later on this evening from 7 o'clock, as I will be live from the new theatre in Peterborough, East Cambridgeshire, as the second leg of the current touring production of the 5 years anniversary UK Tour 2023 production of Six the Musical has its second leg performance once again in East Cambridgeshire, and for the very first time being performed in the city of Peterborough. We also have a brand new cast, since the previous cast I saw last time I saw this production have now left over the last few months, but also we'll be finding a little bit more about them, and also we've got a few extra surprises in store, all once again that you're going to find out on Six the Musical, the second leg of the 5 years anniversary UK Tour 2023, exclusively live here on YouTube and also from the Peterborough New Theatre in Peterborough, East Cambridgeshire. Hope to see you all then. Yeah, we're almost time? Okay. Well, if it couldn't get any more bonkers, now, believe it or not, I couldn't have been any more appropriately dressed, because I thought that when we were going to do this programme, it was going to be around the same time as Trooping the Colour, the famous military event here in the UK. But this obviously, at the time when we're filming this, is around that time, so when it comes out. So, and obviously the guards at the Tower of London wear this kind of thing as well. It's a great costume though, isn't it? I never thought I'd ever get the chance to dress up as a beefeater. That is quite something. I should have actually worn this for the coronation of King Charles III last month. Oh, and yes, of course. I was going to say, yeah, I'll mention that in the well, not just the performance, but also the programme as well. So now I'm really excited for this one, and we've got a brand new cast as well. So I'm really looking forward to seeing if they're. I'm sure they'll obviously be a lot more different from the one that I previously saw. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing them. And yeah, actually, someone's making a debut as well. I think it's the Super Swing tonight as well. That's amazing. Well, yeah, of course, we'll mention that in the programme as well. So are we ready to go? All right then, and also, hello everybody. Good evening once again. My name is Jack Wright, also known as Jackpot Buttoners on YouTube and Real Next Gen King Henry VIII on Instagram, here once again with another Six the Musical video. The second leg of the 5 years anniversary UK Tour 2023. From here, of course, in the wonderful local city of Peterborough. I'm very grateful to be here once again, covering the second leg of this tour. Once again, we've got a brand new cast, and there's loads of little things I've been told about, but I'm not going to tell you anything until we get filming underway. But I hope you have a wonderful time. And you all look fantastic, and including myself, I understand. I appreciate, thank you very much. I appreciate you, of course, acknowledging this. I mean, it's all part of tying in with, of course, what is going to be talked about in the episode. And I'm really looking forward to this one, just as I was just as excited as the one that we did for the coronation sing-along for the West End production just a few weeks ago and last month. But I hope you enjoy, everyone, and have a wonderful time, and I hope to see you later on at the venue, when I'm also dressed as, once again, as my alter ego Henry VIII himself as well. Thank you very much, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the programme. Yeah, are we ready to go? Alright, let's do it. Best of luck, everyone. Positions. the Tudor Dynasty Broadcasting Union, broadcasting all across the Queendoms of England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland and Western Europe. Jack Wright will be exclusively live from the Peterborough New Theatre in East Cambridgeshire for the second leg performance of Six the Musical, the 5 years anniversary UK Tour 2023. That's coming up in an hour here on the Tudor Dynasty Broadcasting Union. But now, exclusively live here on the Tudor Dynasty Broadcasting Union, following the recent abdication of His Royal Majesty King Henry VIII, we find out more about why he decided to step down as the previous monarch, as well as finding out a little bit more about his remarkable reign and what will be the future for the then monarch himself of Henry VIII. Now here on the Tudor Dynasty Broadcasting Union, it's Henry VIII, the interview. And final question, Your Highness. We understand that just over a few weeks ago, you officially confirmed your abdication from the throne and handing your crown over to your ex-wives of Catherine of Aragon, Anne Boleyn, Jane Seymour, Anne of Cleves, Catherine Howard, and also Catherine Parr, to form also a newly named United Queendom all across the Queendoms of England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and also for the recent fan base for what they've achieved as a new band of six. Can you quickly tell us what was going through your mind when you had to decide to step down, as then with your reign of being King of England officially over? Well, I knew it was only going to be a matter of time before I was asked this question. Well, I want to try and keep it brief as possible. When I was thinking quite immensely and quite exponentially as well on the time when I was asked by my most of my of course courtiers and even the Chamberlain in my palace here at Hampton Court. It was quite the revelation how it happened. I mean, there's been times where when I was completely oblivious to what my ex-wives had done, especially being formed as a pop band of six. I was completely aloof to all the success and obviously admiration for them, especially rewriting history very differently from what I never thought would ever happen. And to see them get a long-awaited opportunity to tell once again their side of what actually happened with me, I mean, it was a very uncomfortable time, that's all I might just say, really. But since I've now stepped down, I feel like that it is the right thing to do, because as I've mentioned earlier on, you could only take so much from being ridiculed and how I treated them all those years ago, and obviously with what's been happening recently, with of course with the ongoing success that they've had and inspiring Toby, Marlow and Lucy Moss to write a musical all about their life as well, and even predicting it from a modern perspective as well is something I never thought would ever happen, and it's quite unbelievable to see how much of an impact it's had on many young people's lives, mostly in the queendoms across the United Kingdom, and I understand that the show's been very popular overseas in Western Europe, and also in America, and also just recently announced in Canada, and also just recently being translated in a new language in South Korea. I mean, it's just unbelievable just to see what they've achieved, and I have doubted them for so long, and they have time and time again they have proved me wrong, and I have felt so terrible for ridiculing them so much, and every time that I ridicule them they've just got stronger. And just also as well, I think it's quite important to highlight that the hate that they once received, not just by myself but from other people as well, which can be quite divided, has completely gone. And to see this remarkable allegiance and alliance with the people alongside them is something I never thought would happen. And as I said, earlier on, it feels like I was fighting a losing battle, and I knew it was only going to be a matter of time until I could continue on from being the then reigning monarch of this country. So, I mean, to wrap it up, in of course quite appropriately, I would honestly have to say that the United Queendom is definitely in a safe place now, and I know that even though that I've now officially stepped down from being King of England to now become a prince, since now I've my reign of King of England is officially over, I just hope that with what I said just also a few weeks ago to the speech when I addressed everyone in the Queendom of England, that I hope that the crown will be shared individually and also adjacent to each other, to every of my wives, to every one of them, and they'll all have a time to have, they'll all have input into making the United Kingdom quite a remarkable place now, especially with uniting people with their music, and also the strong messages that they've been having, especially when it comes to female empowerment, and to also not compare themselves, even though that I was responsible for having them there in the first place, as being part of my reign back then. But like I said, I did say that I wish them the very best of luck for their future endeavours as the new monarchs of across the country, and also most importantly the Queendom worldwide as well included. And I just hope that I know they've got some big shoes to fill, but I'm sure that especially 6 women obviously outnumbers one of me, so I'm sure they will, of course, I think the crown is definitely in safe hands, certainly for the next few decades. I'd honestly have to totally agree with that. And final question, Your Highness, what will be the future now that since you have stepped down as the King of England and handing officially the crown over once again equally to your ex-wives. What are you going to do now you've now become what you used to be with your late father of Henry VII? Well, I do know, funnily enough, that it's definitely going to be something quite unusual to now contend with. But I do know that also that I have got my upcoming birthday as well. Obviously, with that also being a jubilee as well. I know that, of course, that's been a trend that's been going on for many centuries and decades of this era as well. So, but yes, I am looking forward to a very exciting birthday, since my birthday is in the month of June, and I'm looking forward to celebrating it, especially after the incredible coronation that they had earlier on this year, and of course I hope that the celebrations will be just as big and spectacular as, of course, as were the scenes just the same when my ex-wives officially were crowned as the new Queens of England. Well, Your Royal Highness Henry VIII, it has been an absolute pleasure to have been talking to you. And on behalf of everyone on this programme, we hope you have a wonderful retirement, and also a early happy birthday for your upcoming celebrations for when you were born in the month of June. Thank you very much, everyone. I appreciate, I know this has been something that I wouldn't normally do, but it's been very appropriate now that I've done it, and now I can officially start a new life. Even though that I've stepped down as king, I now look forward to having a bit of time to myself in the time that I have left on this planet. Well, so we meet again, my good friends of the Cambridgeshire Queendom itself. And what's up, guys? Hi, everyone. Also, it's me, Jack Wright here, known as Jack Wolfer, knows on YouTube, Real Next Gen King Henry Dave on Instagram here. And welcome to another edition of this programme. But this time, we're in a completely different place for the very first time. And it's going to be very, very exciting, because this, for the very first time here in the city of Peterborough, we are going to be seeing VI the Musical and the second leg of the 5 years anniversary UK Tour 2023 here from the new theatre in Peterborough. And of course, the Six Wives of Henry VIII will come back together to perform here on this stage for the very first time. And of course, they will have loads more, since we've also got a brand new cast. They are going to continue the ongoing legacy of, once again, this UK touring production of this very royal musical. As welcome to the second leg performance of VI the Musical, the 5 years anniversary UK Tour 2023, here exclusively live here on YouTube from the new theatre here in Peterborough, East Cambridgeshire. Roll the titles.
Divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived, and tonight, London!
2023, exclusive on YouTube. And we are live from the Peterborough New Theatre in Peterborough, East Cambridgeshire, England, United Kingdom, for the second leg of the VIII The Musical, the 5 years anniversary UK Tour 2023. And now, lords, ladies, and loyal royal subjects of the Cambridgeshire Royal Court, please welcome your host for this evening's programme. He has now been appointed a new royal guard in charge of Peterborough Cathedral. Please welcome Mr. Jack Wright. Thank you very much. You weren't expecting this, were you? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. What a warm welcome once again. It's good to be back doing this. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for that warm welcome as always. And with that, hello everybody! That's right, everybody. What's up, guys? My name is Jack Wright, once again, also known as RionXGen King Henry VIII on Instagram, and also Jackpot Button Lewis on YouTube, if I can even say that right. And welcome to the second leg of VIII The Musical, the 5 years anniversary UK Tour 2023! Yes, that's right, everybody. Once again, it has been a few months since you last saw me, of course, cover once again the current UK touring production of VIII The Musical, one of my favourite and very royal musicals that I have been following quite a lot as of this year. Of course, it was only just, believe it or not, you wouldn't believe that earlier on, of course, just last month, I actually went to see the Royal West End Coronation themed sing-along performance, and that was incredible. Honestly, it was I think one of the most unpredictable shows that I've seen thus far of VIII The Musical. And honestly, guys, if you thought that was eventful and unpredictable, well, tonight is exactly going to be just that as well, and it's just going to be just as eventful for that matter as well. As of course, as you can tell also, that if you might be wondering why I'm dressed up as a beefeater for, and that of course that earlier on this week, believe it or not, everybody, I have been told that I've been officially wanting to say this for a very, very long time, that as of today, or just a few days ago, it was my 29th birthday! All right, thank you very much. I appreciate your belated cheers and whoops of appreciation there for, of course, me being another year older. And, well, as I've said, guys, honestly, it's, I can't believe that I'm now 29 years old, and next year I'll be 30 years old. Can you believe that? I actually don't feel 30 years old at all. I mean, I may look relatively old on the outside, but I'm still very young at heart, of course. And as I've said already, of course, tying in with, of course, because earlier on, or of course later on this week, at the time we are filming this programme for you, of course, the very exciting British-themed military event of the Trooping the Colour will be happening at the end of this week. And of course, as you know, the Beefeaters and Yeomen are very well known for being, of course, wardens, of course, that protect and also support and serve also in most of the very famous historic royal palaces from across the UK, including Hampton Court and also the Tower of London, and also Windsor Castle, and Warwick Castle, and loads of others. So, but also, as like I've said already, this is the closest thing to actually what Royal Guards would have worn also back in the Tudor period. So I've been dressing once again very appropriately for, of course, tonight's programme and of course show, especially with once again covering this this celebratory 5 years anniversary UK tour of VIII 2023. And once again, like of course from just a few months ago when we of course had the first leg of this tour in Cambridge at the Cambridge Arts Theatre, which it went back to the very city where it was all done back, where of course the show was all made, and when it was performed for the very first time at the ADC Theatre and done at amateur level back in 2017 by Cambridge University Theatre Society. And of course, since then, of course, we've now actually are going to be in a brand new venue as of tonight, because we are going to be here at the wonderful, of course, this is the studio that I am in here. Of course, as you know, I'm no stranger to, of course, doing every Six the Musical theme video from here. But of course, just outside that, we are just a few miles away from the actual theatre itself, or once again, the new theatre here in Peterborough tonight. And it's the first time also that Peterborough, the city of Peterborough, is giving the chance to host and also have a weekend of performances all across through this week. And believe it or not, guys, actually earlier on this week, on actually the day of my birthday, because I'm born on the 6th of June, believe it or not, very appropriate, of course, with the number of course, with the show being 6 as well. Believe it or not, guys, also with that, on the topic of that, also that earlier on this week, also they have just now came up with a very quirky idea, of course, all themed around the show of 6, and that the casts have just been celebrating for anyone who, of course, doesn't just celebrate a birthday on that day, but also, since, of course, this is so obviously from a few days ago, the 6th day of the 6th month, every year, that's now become a new trend, as following in the, of course, the recent trend, and also with the sharing the name of the actual show itself. We've actually heard from some very, very special people, and with that also being said, since of course this has been one of the most, I think, successful years the musical has had, with so many productions going across, not just here in the UK, but all across the world, including America, and also I think just recently they've been performing, they've just finished a run in Australia and New Zealand, as I mentioned in the last programme of this. And also they have just started, or just have done for a few months now, their first ever another language production of 6, all the way done in Far East Asia in South Korea. And believe it or not, guys, we've also been confirmed, or I can also confirm from my production team, that we've also got another upcoming production, which I think you're going to find out a little bit more, as we're going to show you a little clip of what happened just a few days ago, as of course most of the worldwide casts of 6 the Musical spend there, of course, and send their wishes to everyone who were watching on the first ever official 6 day.
We want to wish you a very happy 6th day.
On the 6th day of the 6th month, we are honoring all things 6, including you.
Thank you so much for continuing bringing your positivity and royal energy to the Queendom.
We hope you spend your day spreading love and joy.
And that you celebrate today by getting down to your favourite Queen song
and sharing your 6 fan art and cosplay. Or by doing whatever inspires you.
We love you, Queen!
amazing, everyone, to see the whole of the worldwide, of course, cast of Six the Musical from productions all across the world at the moment in the, of course, the queendoms of individually in other countries to wish this new, of course, tradition that's now become part of the legacy of Six the Musical is it's quite a nice new addition there to actually have an actual day celebrating the number and for being also the title of this show as well. And as I said before, guys, it's something that I certainly was not expecting that to happen just recently, but I think it's a very good addition to, of course, once again the show and to celebrate and just basically promote the show as, of course, as proudly and as patriotic, I think, as also very appropriately as well. I think it could be titled there for that case too also. But also, we have also confirmed that if you did actually see earlier on, as I've got my phone here, that we've also have now got news about an upcoming Canadian production that's going to be happening later on this year as well. That's from just following on from two US tours that are happening at the moment. And also, as we mentioned in the last programme of Six the Musical, the Royal West End Coronation Sing-Along 2023, former West End and OG West End Jane Seymour, and originally playing her also on the original studio cast recording album of recording of the show itself, is of Natalie May Paris. And of course we have already know that she has been performing quite recently with the show, and honestly she has been coming she has been very, very popular. I mean, as you know already, she has already been performing here in the UK for over the last few years, especially coming back for the first time in a few years from last year at the, of course, the amazing Divorce Beheaded Live performance at Hampton Court Palace that we had last year, and reuniting with her fellow the original West End queens of Jeanette Richard Knoll, Millie O'Connell, and Alexia McIntosh, and Amy Atkinson, and Maya Kusona Breed. They also came back together also to film a professional production, a pro shoot of Six the Musical, which I know that it has been over a year since that's been filmed, very, very soon from last year. But we haven't had anything by, of course, any of the people who were part of that on the production team side at the Vaudeville Theatre where it was filmed. But if we do find out any information throughout this programme, we will be the first to tell you, and I will be as well. All of our production team on tonight's programme are keeping their finger on the pulse to let you know about any upcoming updates with that of the release of that eagerly awaited production of Six as well. And with that also being said, as I've said already, I've mentioned now, of course, this is the first time in a while that, of course, because we were not expecting this to happen so soon, but the previous cast that were part of this 5 years anniversary, celebratory 5 years anniversary UK Tour 2023 production of Six, the cast that were previously performing and just left recently when they reached, of course, the venue in High Wycombe at the Wycombe Swan Theatre. They left quite recently, but we've also got a quick video of the cast of when they took their final bow, and a wonderful speech from Jennifer Caldwell. And with also that being said, we are going to also meet the 6 brand new queens and also alternates and super swing, which, believe it or not, actually the super swing is going to be making their debut later on this evening for tonight's performance of the second leg of this, of course, touring production. So with that being said, here's when, of course, the previous cast of Six the Musical on the UK touring production took their final bow earlier on this year and a few months back at the High Wycombe Swan Theatre, just a few months ago. And let's also meet the new cast for 2023 into 2024, as they have now been confirmed to be part of the show for over the next few years.
It's time to rise above.
not just a bunch of crying people. This is, in fact, all 10 of us here and our wonderful musical director, Caitlin. It is our final show here with Six, so sorry for the tears. We really hope you enjoyed the show. I've had the most incredible time working with the most incredible people, and to finish it with these wonderful humans around me is amazing, and I'm so very grateful. Thank you to you wonderful audiences across the world. You're really so incredible, and thank you for making this night so special for all of us.
And I'm playing Aragon. Hello, my name is Lauren Dawn Pyatt and I'm playing Anne Boleyn.
Hi, I'm Ellen Caldwell and I'm playing Jane Seymour.
Hi, I'm Kennedy Small and I'm playing Anna of Cleves.
Hello, I'm Lou Henry and I'm playing Catherine Howard.
Hi, my name is Aoife Hawkinson and I'm playing Catherine Carr.
Hiya, I'm Izzy Maxwell and I'm playing alternate Boleyn Howard.
Hi, my name is Tamara Morgan and I'll be playing the Seymour Parr alternate.
Hello, I'm Ellie Jane Gross and I'm playing alternate Aragon and Cleves.
Hello, my name's Shakira Simpson and I am the Super Swing.
When I think Calvin, this is me after the show. Yeah.
Because Laura before her first show.
Poised. Hi, my name's Laura and this is me. After my first show. This is Ken's for her first show. Hi, I'm Kennedy. And this is me after the show.
Before her first show.
My name is Lou and this is me after my first show. Yeah.
My name is Aoife, this is me before the first show.
Hi, I'm Aoife and this is me after my first show.
Well, hear ye, hear ye! Long live the new queens who are going to be coronated later on in tonight's performance. And with that being said, there you go, everybody, from what you just saw, or just from as we saw the official transition and, of course, handover from the brand new cast that have just been performing quite recently for this year's, of course, celebratory 5 years of the anniversary UK Tour 2023 touring production of Six the Musical. And just to clarify, everybody, for any of you who just actually didn't catch all of their names, just to quickly remind you on all of the people who are once again taking over the roles and playing the queens now in this, of course, touring production of Six the Musical. We have Nicole Louise Lewis playing the role of Catherine of Aragon, Laura Dawn Pyatt. I know it's an unusual surname, I've never even heard of that. I think that's one of the most bizarre surnames I've ever heard of a female person, but she's playing the role of Anne Boleyn. We have Erin Caldwell, who's playing Jane Seymour, the second Scottish actress to play that role, and just coming fresh from playing Veronica Sawyer in the West End production of Evers the Musical. We also had Kennedy Small, who's playing Anne of Cleves, Lou Henry, a very appropriate surname there, tying in, of course, being the forename of King Henry VIII, obviously, or to do with his 6 wives, which is obviously mentioned, of course, countless times in the show, playing Catherine Howard. And Aoife Hackinson, that's an unusual surname, but I have been told that she's half British and half Taiwanese, and she is playing the role of Catherine Parr. And also, we just to remind you also as well, we do have 3 alternate performers as well, and a super swing, which, believe it or not, I can actually tell you, and I have been told by our production team, Shakira Simpson is her name, if you are seeing her on screen right now, and she is going to be making an appearance playing the role of Catherine Parr tonight for tonight's show. So that's very exciting to hear, and I had been told about that when I, of course, was letting people know that I'm going to be seeing the show from just a few days ago. And one of the fans who is going to go and see it tonight told me about that. So whoever you were, thank you for letting me know about that as well. But like I said already, just to clarify, the other alternate performers alongside Shakira Simpson, who is playing the Super Swing throughout this touring production now and will be performing later on this evening. We also have Ellie Jane Grant playing alternate Catherine of Aragon and Anne of Cleves, Izzy Maxwell playing alternate Anne Boleyn and Catherine Howard, and Tamara Morgan playing alternate Jane Seymour and Catherine Parr. But once again, just to clarify, that Shakira Simpson as down as a super swing. If any of the performers who are, of course, if they get injured or if they end up falling ill, whether it be midway through a show or also at any time, of course, when they couldn't do a show when they are supposed to be on in their contract, that's where the super swing comes into play, and they're basically like the last hope for, of course, this production, to remind you all that they, of course, have experienced and have actually been asked to cover all of the Queen roles in the show, and go on, of course, just within like a few minutes of even when someone is going to fall ill or actually are not feeling 100%. So very, very exciting to see, of course, Shakira Simpson playing the role of Catherine Parr later on this evening. So, as like I said before, there is, of course, the new cast that are being part of, once again, the 5 years anniversary of UK Tour 2023, and the second leg performance here from Peterborough of course, at the new theatre in Peterborough, here in the city, in East Cambridgeshire. But of course, once again, as you may remember, as one of our features to continue the celebrations of celebrating unofficially 5 years since the very first amateur production of this musical first took place at the ADC Theatre in Cambridge, we are now going to show you a little bit more of our production's herstory, which you might remember from the last programme when we covered the first leg over in Cambridge earlier on just a few months ago. And we got up to when the release of the debut cast album recording just came out. And now we're going to look at the very first time when we had our first original West End cast Queen performance that was done at the, of course, the very, very famous theatrical event, which will also be happening from next week also, believe it or not, every year in London's Trafalgar Square, and that is West End Live. So we're going to go now, travel you back to, I think it would be now, 6 or 5 years ago now, sorry, I think I can remember from the top of my head, and we are going to look at when the original West End cast queens of Six the Musical performed for the very first time their rendition of Ex-Wives, and when they performed for the very first time, but also this was at the time before even the signature costumes that were worn by the very same cast. They wouldn't be introduced until later on in the year when they also performed in the UK touring production for the very first time, and also once again back at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. We also are going to show you some bit footage of even one of the times they even performed on the actual, of course, Royal Mile promoting the production, and we're also going to hear from the original Anne Boleyn herself, of Millie O'Connell, one of my favourite performers to have played the role so far in the whole history and legacy of this show. And here's the first little bit of production's history as we look back on the very first performance of the song Ex-Wives by the original West End cast Queens at West End Live in 2018, and also when it was performed at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival for the first time with also, once again, the original West End cast Queens.
on me. You won't try that again.
I'm that Berlin girl, and I'm up next. I took the England from the church, 'cause I'm that sexy. Why did I lose my head? Well, my sleeves may be green, but my lipstick's red.
Jane Seymour, the only one he truly loved.
Rude.
When my son was newly born, I died, but I'm not what I seem, or am I? Stick around and you'll suddenly see more.
It's been Anna of Cleves.
Yeah?
When he saw my portrait, he was like,
Yeah.
But I didn't look as good as I did in my pic. Funny how we all discussed that, but never Henry's little prick.
Top your ears up to Catherine who lost her head.
Beheaded.
For my promiscuity outside of wed. Lock up your husbands, lock up your sons. Kay Howard is here and the fun's begun.
Five down, I'm the final wife. I saw him to the end of his life. I'm the survivor, Catherine Parr. I bet you wanna know how I got this far. I said, I bet you wanna know how I got this far.
Do you wanna know how we got this far? Then
Welcome to the show, to the history mix. Switching up the flow as we add the prefix. Everybody knows that we used to be 6 wives. Get your hands up, get this party buzzing. You want a queen bee? Well, there's half a dozen. Everybody knows that we used to be 6 wives. But now we're ex-wives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Life was a chore, so
She said so.
1522 came straight to the UK. All the British dudes lame.
Epic fail.
I wanna dance and sing.
Politics.
Not my thing. But then I met the king, and soon my daddy said, you should try and get ahead. He wanted me, obviously, kept messaging me like every day. Couldn't be better than he sent me a letter, and who am I kidding? I was Peterborough. I sent a reply, just saying hi. Well, you're a nice guy. I'll think about it, maybe. XO, baby. Here we go. I didn't know I would move in with his missus. Get a life.
You're living with his wife.
Like, what was I meant to do? Sorry, not sorry about what I said. I'm just trying to have some fun. Don't worry, don't lose your head. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. LOL, say oh well, or go to hell. Well, I'm sorry, not sorry about what I said. Don't lose your head. 3 in the bed, and the little one said, if you wanna be wed, make up your mind. Her or me, chum, don't wanna be some girl in a threesome, are you blind? Don't be bitter, 'cause I'm fitter. Why hadn't it hit her? He doesn't want to bang you, somebody hang you. Here we go. I didn't really mean it, but rumours spiral.
Great to make the country hate you.
Mate, what was I meant to do? Sorry, not sorry about what I said. I'm just trying to have some fun. Don't worry, don't lose your head. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. LOL, say oh well, or go to hell. Well, I'm sorry, not sorry about what I said. Don't lose your head. I tried to elope, but the Pope said nope. Our only hope was he got a promotion, caused a commotion, set in motion the rules were so outdated. Us 2 wanted to get X-rated soon. Everybody chill, it's totes God's will. Hold up, let me tell you how this went down. Henry's out every night on the town, just sleeping around like what the hell? That's how it's gonna be. Maybe I'll flirt with a guy or three just to make him gel. Well, Henry finds out and he goes mental. He screams and shouts like so judgmental. You damn Ned witch, mate, just shut up. I wouldn't be such a if you could get it up. Here we go. What he said. And now he's going round like off with our head. Yes, I'm pretty sure he means it. But what was I meant to do? What was she meant to do? No, but what was I meant to do? What was she meant to do? What was I meant to do? What was she meant to do? Oh my god, guys, no, seriously, he's actually going to chop my head off. I mean, I guess he really likes my head. Sorry, not sorry, that's what I said. I'm just trying to have some fun. Well, don't worry, don't lose your head. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. LOL, say oh well, or go to hell. Sorry, not sorry, that's what I said. Sorry, not sorry, that's what she said. Sorry, not sorry, that's what I said. Don't lose your head.
Wow, that was absolutely incredible, everybody. Can you believe that was 5 years ago, everyone? And there you go, everybody, if you just saw earlier on there, that was, of course, another trip down memory lane, of course, with the production's history of Six the Musical, and honestly, guys, you wouldn't have believed that of course, production and that cast particularly as well, were they managed to get the chance to not just perform from halfway around 2018, but they also carried on and they were then given proper costumes from the following year in 2019, and that's when I also, believe it or not, I first saw the show at the Arts Theatre in London's West End. And that's where, of course, the very first production of Six the Musical with the original West End cast took place. And also that's where the studio cast also performed as well. The album cast that recorded the original album, which I know we've been using their music a lot, of course, on anything all to do with this show. And like I said already, I mean, that was fantastic to watch back, guys. Honestly, I mean, as I've said before, and to have seen, obviously, the original cast come back recently, and most importantly, for any of you who do not know, also, just quite recently, it's almost marking 3 years since they actually decided to come back. And believe it or not, I think actually one of the band members, or actually one of the cast members of Alexia McIntosh jokingly said when they were performing at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival back in 2018, she actually mentioned, or actually Amy Atkinson also mentioned it to her jokingly as well, and they had this crazy idea of what if we were to become an actual pop band after being a pop band based off being, of course, the wives of Henry VIII, and doing their own music, of course, which is just the same format and same formulae of to the show as itself, like with this as well. And she jokingly said, yeah, right, of course, no, there's no chance there that will happen. Well, believe it or not, guys, how wrong was she? Because just a few months ago, and well, not just exactly a few months ago, but last year also, the original West End cast Queens formed as a brand new pop band called SVN, which is basically an acronym or a modern take on the number 7, which was suggested by their fan group and of course their fans called the SVN Nation. And like I said, it ties in very appropriately because even though there were 6, of course, people in the show, obviously, of 6, there was also Grace Matt, who was the very first person to play the alternate, of course, and cover all of the roles. And since it's quite a demanding show, they started introducing more people in case the people went unwell. And there was also a massive tie time when, of course, we'll actually show you at the end, of course, and later on in the programme, where there was a time where it was quite a dark time for the show's future. And believe it or not, the writer himself, one of the writers himself, of Toby Marlow, had to stand in playing one of the queens to keep the show going and obviously not lose any money from, of course, cancelling the show. And since, of course, they also brought back the original Anne of Cleves, that being Genesis Linnea, and also the alternates of Courtney J. Stapleton also came back. Amy Atkinson was there as well, with Millie O'Connell and John Eyre, Richard Knoll. And with also that being said, since of course Toby stood in for the role of Catherine Parr, which we'll see later on in the programme, they had to do a concert version, which obviously, as you know, it is based off as a pop concert and talent competition, the format of this show. But since Genesis and also Toby didn't have time to learn the choreography, they had to make it a bit more easier for themselves, and they had to, unfortunately, of course, do it just standing in front of with microphones on mic stands. And I do remember, of course, because I think at the time when it did happen, I think Alexia McIntosh and Natalie May Paris, I think they were either on holiday or they were unwell, so that's why, of course, they couldn't do the show. But we'll see, of course, that performance later on in the programme. And yes, well, with also that being said, before I ramble any longer, I think we're going to take a quick break now. But of course, the time is almost here. We are going to be, of course, taking a quick break now here on the second leg of Six the Musical, the 5 years anniversary UK Tour 2023, here from the new, of course, Peterborough New Theatre here in Peterborough, East Cambridgeshire. But when we come back, we will be live once again from the new theatre in Peterborough in East Cambridgeshire, and we'll be counting those, of course, precious minutes down to see the very first performance of a brand new, of course, cast of Queens that will be taken to the stage and also be taking place and taking, of course, taking on each other to also be coronated to being once again the lead band member and getting that all-important precious title of the lead band member of course, of the Band of Six. You can see all that, and we'll also have more productions history of Six the Musical when we come back. See you in a few minutes.
We're six. We're six.
Well, greetings once again, my loyal subjects of course, my Cambridgeshire Queendom here and the Royal Court here in Peterborough, and I'm just behind, of course, the new theatre here in Peterborough, East Cambridgeshire, and we are only just a few minutes away from the second leg performance of the 5 years anniversary UK Tour 2023 of Six the Musical. Once again with a brand new cast we mentioned in the last part of this show, but once again to, of course, lead in before we head into the auditorium and seeing the new cast take to the stage once again for the first time here in Peterborough. Here's another bit of productions history as we look back on the last time that the cast of, once again, the previous UK touring cast that did perform last time out here from earlier on this year. But as well as that, we also now look at the time in history when, for the very first time in the darkest week in the show's history, when it was done at the Arts Theatre back in 2018, when Toby Marlow himself, one of the writers of the show, stood in for one of the Queens, and also one of the most unusual variations of the show being performed in a concert, just like the original format of the show. But here's a bit more of what that very famous day, and we also heard from Toby Marlow being the very first male person to play one of those signature 6 queens. Here's what happened from just over 5 years ago.
Get ready to dance.
Make some noise for Monkey!
keep doing this. Sorry. Sorry for, it's just, I don't know. Whoa, hey! Sorry, can we just turn off the, thanks. I don't know, it's just, we're here, in front of all of these people, being like, ooh, let's see what gets the biggest cheer, trauma or abuse. Woo! Like, should we really be doing this?
I mean, we've literally been doing it for the past hour, so...
I know, but like, miscarriages, really? Isn't that a bit...
Oh, someone's got conscience all of a sudden!
Oh, I'm Catherine Carr, I draw the line in arbitrary places, blah, blah, blah. Queens, you know what? It's because she knows she's just not gonna win. So she's trying to make us look stupid instead of playing by the rules like everyone else. That's not it. Can't you see that this whole thing is just... What can I do to make it... Okay. You know what, Queens? If it's a sub-story you want, I will give you one.
Are you sure, Catherine? We don't mind if you want to sit this one out. You must be exhausted from all those backing vocals.
You know what? You're right. I should sing a song. It's only fair. Go on, Queens, take a seat. Go on. Hey everyone, is it okay if we try something a bit different tonight? Hey, hi. Sorry, can I get that beautiful light back? Thanks. And Joan, could you give me a cheeky little B flat major 7? Perfect. So, just for a bit of context, I've actually had my fair share of marriages. Something Henry and I have in common, I guess. Though unlike him, I did manage to get through them without decapitating anyone. I know, gold star for Kathy Parr. But the thing is, they had this really annoying habit of passing away. So as well as dealing with, you know, incapacitating grief, I also had to keep on finding new husbands to avoid being ostracized. Yeah, Tudor womanhood. Would recommend. But then one day, finally, I meet this guy, Thomas, and you guessed it, he turned out to be the love of my life. I know, right? We had this plan to get married, actually, but that's when Henry turned up. Single and ready to make an unsuspecting woman his wife. Just my luck. So, that was that. I had to write a letter to Thomas, ending things. Dear Tom, you know I love you, boy, in every single way. Though I love you, boy, I'll miss you every day. Oh, I love you, boy. I wish that I could stay with you and keep the life I made with you. And even though this feels so
till there's something new. As if I'm gonna give up my boy, my work, my dreams to care for you. Darling, get a clue. There's nothing you can do. I don't need your love. No, no, no. I don't need your love. No, no. There's nothing left to discuss. No, no. I don't need your love. No, no. But the thing is, I can't say that. Not to the king. So this is goodbye. All my love, Catherine. So I sent that letter to my love, got married to the king, became the one who survived. I told you about my life, the final wife. But why should that story be the one I have to sing about just to win? I'm out. That's not my story. There's so much story. That I was a writer. I wrote books and songs and meditations for female education. So all my women independently study scripture. I even got a woman to paint my picture. Why can't I tell that story? Because in his story, I'm fixed as one of six. And without him, I disappear. Wait, I don't get it. Okay, look. Why does anyone know who we are? My sixth finger! Put it away, babe. Okay, let me put it a different way. Who was Henry VII's wife? I don't know. Anyone? I don't know. Okay, who was Henry VI's wife? I don't know. And who was Henry V's wife? We don't know. I mean, we don't know. Point is, the only reason why any of these people have come here tonight is because once upon a time, the same guy fell in love with us. Right. But wait, isn't there a bigger problem here? The disillusion of the monasteries! No, I'm talking about us. Because whenever we get together as a group, everyone notices Jane can't dance. Oh, so right. See, that is exactly what I'm talking about. If we compare ourselves. Oh. And when we're the 6 wives of Henry VIII, we each become just that. One of his wives. One of 6. OMG, I get it. Since the only thing we have in common is our husband, grouping us is an inherently comparative act, and as such, it necessarily elevates a historical approach ingrained in patriarchal structures. Woo, sister! Yes, I read. So, basically, we're stuck. What a waste of time. Well, guess there's not much we can do about it now. Do you know what? I wish that before we'd spent the whole show competing, we'd realise it'd turn out to be such a mess. Yeah, because if we had realised it, maybe we could have just done something else, like maybe even a fake competition to show everyone how messed up comparing us is. Oh, yeah, and then we could have found some cool way to, I don't know, reclaim our stories and all become leading ladies. Oh, we could have done that as a song. Oh, that would have tied things together so neatly. Only we thought of that before. This is the remix! to the same man. But why does anyone give a who he is? His continental campaigning, his religious reforms? Well, actually, it's not the time, Catherine. Or do you think it might be, I don't know, because of his 6 So before we go, Peterborough, what do you think? Are you ready for a royal happy ever after? Well, we don't have one. We wish we could tell you our lives had happy endings, but in reality, they didn't. And there's nothing we can do to change that, ever.
So much for that, then.
Oh, wait! This is our show, and we can literally have whatever ending we want. So, Peterborough, seeing as there's 5 minutes left of the show, we've decided to give you our own, slightly edited version of what actually went down all those years ago. Because after all, we're one of a kind, no category. Too many years lost in his story. We're free to take our crowning glory for 5 more minutes. We're 6. All right, Queens, how about we do a little history ride? Okay, do you want to go first? Well, me? Well, I guess I'm good for a change. Let's go! He got down on one knee, but I said no way. Packed my bags and moved into a nunnery. I joined the gospel choir, our riffs were on fire. At the top of the charts is where I'm gonna stay. They sent me a poem about my green sleeves. I changed a couple words, put it on a sick beat. The song through their voice, next thing I was signed, and now I'm writing lyrics for Shakespeare. Since my first son, my family's grown. We made a band and got quite well known. You could perhaps call us the Tudor Von Trapps. I'm just kidding! We're called the Royal Stones. We're one of a kind, no category. Too many years lost in history. We're free to take our crowning glory for 5 more minutes. We're 6. Please, guys, it's your turn next, right? Yeah, I know it is. What a shame that my face, it cost me the crown. So I moved to the House of Horror in my hometown. His mates were super arty, but I showed them how to party. Now on my tour of Prussia, everybody gets stoned. Music Man tried it on, and I was like, bye. So I thought, who needs him? I can give it a try. I learned everything, now all I do is sing. I'll do that until I die. Heard all about these rockin' chicks, loved every song and each remix. So I went out and found them, and we laid down an album. Now I don't need your love, all I need is 6.
Hey, I think I found my twin. He should be a good Henry. You just need a costume.
That was quite the Mega 6 performance there. Well, there you go, everybody. That, of course, was all, unfortunately, the footage I could get from, once again, the second leg performance of the UK tour, the 5 years anniversary UK tour 2023 of Six the Musical, once again from the new theatre in Peterborough, East Cambridgeshire. And the reason why that, unfortunately, if some of you had no idea what just happened, why there was that abrupt cut after the Mega 6, is because, unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to get any footage at stage door, but also there was a load of young kids around also, and I thought that might have been inappropriate also for that matter as well, so that's the reason why you didn't see anything. But do not worry though, because we are going to take a quick break now here on once again Six the Musical, once again the second leg of the 5 years anniversary UK tour 2023, and to also, if some of you might be wondering why I've got this rainbow suit on, well, I'll be telling you all about that right after this break. See you in a few minutes.
We're six. We're six.
Well, hello everybody once again. My name is Jack Wright once again, just to remind you all if you did not know already, and welcome back to the final part of once again the second leg performance of once again Six the Musical, the 5 years anniversary UK tour 2023, which we just saw once again at the Peterborough New Theatre in Peterborough, East Cambridgeshire. And now you might be wondering where I am here, of course. Well, I am back in a very familiar place in my bedroom here, and I haven't been in here for a while for any of these previous Six the Musical videos that I've done, to correct my words there, of course, of as I said, that from the last few times I have been doing these videos, all themed around Six the Musical itself. And it's wonderful, as I said already, to be back here in this wonderful room. I know it's not the neatest, as you know, and you also might be wondering, of course, that this is, of course, now, once again, for the second time in this year, this is the official wind down of course, to the performance, and basically talk about and also give me, of course, I'll give you my own reaction to what I experienced from the performance that I just saw just a few days ago. And even though, since I have just mentioned that is, of course, the reason why that I'm, of course, I couldn't do it a few days just after seeing the show, the day after, because I've been very busy over the last few days. But I have actually managed to fit this in, because I know that at the time I'm filming this now, there's a load of other big things that are being planned, of course, in my life, and also there will be other stuff that will be talked about, as well as being talked about and mentioned. Now, I know what you might be thinking all at home. You might be wondering, Jack, why are you in your bedroom here, and of course doing this part of the video in the place that you haven't been in, of course, for the last few programmes of themed around Six the Musical? Well, like I've said already, guys, I thought it would be make it a bit more different, and also for that matter as well, if you are wondering why, of course, also I have a rainbow suit on, and as you can also hear, I've got my fan on at the moment. It has just become very, very warm, as because we are now in, of course, the start of the summer of this year in 2023. And we've also had a lot of big things happen over the last few days, so that is the reason why that I couldn't film this a lot more sooner, because it's been quite unbelievable how many things have been going on in between of doing this show and other things in my personal life. But anyway, with all that being said, of course, for any of you who do not know, of course, the reason why that I've decided to wear something a lot more different, like I said, with this rainbow suit instead of something else that is themed around Six the Musical, is because it is the start officially of Pride! Hey, yes! Thank you very much. We have been waiting a long time to finally, of course, mention this. And to any of you who have no idea that, of course, it was earlier on this month that we are officially celebrating Gay Pride and all to do with the LGBT community and also the QIA plus for that matter as well introduced. And of course I do have my own progress flag, of course Pride flag, which also includes the colours of and emblems including trans rights, intersex rights, the original of course rainbow colours of the LGBT community, and also asexual and also demisexual and all the others. If you may have heard, all of these signature colours have been part of many pride flags, which I know that has been a lot of going on quite recently, and unbelievably the musical of Six has become very, very popular within that community. So we obviously had to, we couldn't ignore it, guys. So I mean, honestly, and if I've not said before, I'm a very proud ally to be also of the LGBT community. And even though, of course, if you did not know this already, of course, back in the Tudor period, homosexuality wasn't even allowed back then. So how far we have come since then, and to be, of course, a person who's actually playing Henry VIII, who I've done previously, it is quite the change to actually do that, honestly, and I know that I've been inspired by a load of things to run in with, of course, this big event itself, and especially the month to celebrate all to do with inclusivity, sorry for that matter, and diversity, and also equality among anyone who is part of this, of course, community. And of course, as I said, on behalf of myself and everyone from, of course, the production team on Six the Musical, the 5 years anniversary UK tour 2023, from the first show that we saw in Cambridge earlier on this year in January to once again now into Peterborough this month here in June. We would like to wish you a very happy Pride Month, and to everyone in, of course, the UK Queendom, and if you are watching this also overseas, that we also know that you'll be celebrating around this month as well. But with that being said, it doesn't just have to be in the month of June, it will go out throughout the remainder of this season in July, of course the month of summer, but it will finish also at the end of August, so of course there is going to be quite the celebration. And if you did hear earlier on, as we just had played there, we had that famous song Free, which is one of my favourites, from the band that was formed originally under the original West End cast production, of course, with the cast there that performed in the show initially all the way back in 2018. That was the song of Free from the band SVN, and it's wonderful to actually have that being included in our program. So and of course, once again, if you have not heard the song already, I definitely recommend you have a listen to it after this program, and really embrace, of course, this time of year, and as I said, it's the most colourful and most exciting and most positive, of course, month of the year that loads of people have obviously embraced a lot, but I know that loads of people from certain backgrounds have been under threat recently due to hate and also very slurring things being said online especially. And once again, of course, on behalf of everyone here, we would also like to promote that we do not appreciate any hate, no matter what background you are from, whether you're gay, lesbian, or asexual, demisexual, bisexual, no, any of the ones that are underneath, of course, all to do with the community. We all stand with you no matter what, and I know it's quite remarkable, like I said already, to have the LGBT community be a big part of the success of the show. I mean, especially with Toby Marlow, if some of you who do not know, he is a proud gender bent person and also queer as well, We also acknowledge that former people have been in the show of 6, and that's also including not just the UK tour cast, but also ones including from the West End are also part of that community. Most importantly, also highlighting one of my favourite members who has played Anne Boleyn of Millie O'Connell. She's a proud pansexual, and also she's also bisexual as well. And of course we stand with all of those people that obviously would want to make a change and be who they want to be, just like, as I said, with the lyrics to the song Free, as I mentioned there with SVN there. But anyway, of course, all that aside, we have, of course, talked about that, and but the most important celebration also, as well, as I've said already, that is not just the only thing that was going on, but earlier on, last week, was my 29th birthday, and I have been very grateful to have celebrated it with the UK Tour Queens. And it was wonderful, as we now can talk about the incredible performance that the cast did just a few days ago when I saw the show. And honestly, guys, if you did see the footage earlier on before we went, we had footage of the last 15 minutes of the show with an amazing super swing debut from the amazing Shakira Simpson, who had her debut playing Catherine Parr and singing her rendition of I Don't Need Your Love. That was absolutely incredible, and that's her second Queen that she has got the chance to play as a super swing, and she has previously played the role of Catherine Howard earlier on in the tour, and but as I said before, she is only 4 queens away from hitting Super Swingo. And we did highlight this, of course, with a former queen, member of the UK touring production of Lisa Tully, who managed to hit Swingo earlier on, a week before we saw the Cambridge performance as well, back in January. And amazing to see another swing also on tonight, and she was the only one out of all of the 6 that were on tonight. And once again, to clarify, I can also quickly highlight of the people who did play the roles of in the show tonight of in 6 the musical, the second leg performance of the 5 years anniversary UK tour 2023 at the Peterborough New Theatre in Peterborough, East Cambridgeshire. We had Nicole Louise Lewis, as we mentioned earlier on in the programme. She played Catherine of Aragon tonight. Laura Dawn Pyatt was Anne Boleyn. Erin Caldwell was Jane Seymour. Kennedy Small was Anne of Cleves. Lou Henry was Catherine Howard, and once again making her super swing debut playing Catherine Parr was Shakira Simpson. And of course, if you can see once again here, I have also got another of these signature royal purple coloured programs, and I also just painted, just to clarify, to make sure I know that, because obviously they've got the same design as also the one that I got earlier on in the year. But to clarify with which cast actually performed, I actually have put there the 6, the UK Tour 2023, 5th cast and Peterborough. And also, unbelievably as well, since I have a wonderful gold pen, I had one of the best stage door experiences so far in seeing a UK touring production. And if you can also see this as well, I got some wonderful autographs, and I got almost all of the cast actually signed my program there. So. And as I said already, I also got You Rock there from Laura Dawn Pyatt. If also as well, guys, if you are seeing a picture on your screen right now, that is, of course, one of the pictures I had with her. And if you could tell, I still, no matter how many times I look at that photo, it always makes me chuckle because of her reaction. It was like, oh my God, Henry VIII has just met me. So yeah, but no, she was absolutely brilliant once again as Anne Boleyn earlier on this last week. She was so funny as the role of Anne Boleyn, and she acknowledged me as well when I ended up saying long live the new queens at the end of the Mega 6, and I also had my royal sword out, which I know I haven't got with me at the moment from my Henry VIII costume, but I pulled it out and to pretend to also, of course, coronate Shakira with celebrating her Catherine Parr debut as a Super Swing. So congratulations once again to her for that. But as you can tell, as you know, since she was on for AOV Hackerson, obviously she weren't on that night. But I also, unbelievably, completely out of nowhere, even though they weren't on for a show and weren't even down as, even though they were down as alternates and they weren't even called to stand in any time when I saw the show just a few days ago, I even managed to get the autographs of Ellie Jane Grant and Tamara Morgan there, and also once again Shakira there as well. So I nearly got all of the cast in just one visit at the stage door, which was incredible. And the only one that is the only two people left I just need to get are now Izzy and once again also AOV Hackerson there. But I'm very, very proud that I got the chance to get nearly a full house of and getting all the signatures of the cast. But if some of you have not noticed on one of the pictures here in the programme, they, even though they've already started having photos as a new cast, unfortunately you still got an old picture there of the previous cast that followed them, of course, previously. But I have heard there are some wonderful pictures. If any of you have not known already, there's some wonderful photos that were taken quite recently, just a few weeks ago. And with that also being said, a few months back as well, when they first joined the cast or being part of the UK tour and production. You can also see all of that on the official Instagram page of, once again, Six the Musical, and that is at Six the Musical, all one word together. And if you're also seeing it on your screen right now, that is what you need to type up, and you can see all those pictures there as well. We did have a wonderful photo earlier on that we showed you. Obviously, we managed to get the audio from the amazing I Don't Need Your Love performance of from, once again, Shakira Simpson, once again with her debut as Catherine Parr. And honestly, guys, it was an amazing, and also once again the stage door was really, really something. And unbelievably, guys, I completely nearly forgot to mention this, but if any of you have no idea, also I have happened to have followed one of the current members of the Ladies in Waiting who played one of the roles earlier on this of course, last week from when I saw the show. And that person was, I'm trying to remember her name, I think it was Migdalia de Van Hoven, I think that was her name, I think, which I think I can tell that that's from her surname. I think she was half Portuguese and half Dutch because of her surname, but she was the first person to come out earlier on at that stage door, and she knew who I was, unbelievably. She recognised my costume. She also has liked a few things on my official Instagram page, and she also asked for a photo. She couldn't believe it was who she was meeting, and I asked for a photo with her, and well, she did, of course, there, and I happily obliged to her. And of course, if you are seeing it on your screen right now, there it is, everybody. And also, with that being said, I can also quickly show you the other photos that were taken by my dad, who I really appreciate my dad, John Wright, for taking these photos that you're seeing on your screen right now. And honestly, it was quite remarkable to get that chance to have those taken. And as I said before, guys, I think that was the most as I said, it was the most unpredictable but also very rewarding stage door experience. I got a lot of recognition at the end of the show, if you did see earlier on as well, when I had someone ask for a photo after the show, and I haven't had so many people come up to me, and to also mention this also, it would be very unfair to not mention it, but as I said, if any of you came to me for a photo from that time that I saw the show, I would just like to say a massive thank you, and thank you so much for your continuing and ongoing support, wherever you've only just recognised me, not just from cosplaying as Henry, the only person who has ever had the chance to do it, and and your support does not go unnoticed. So as I said before, it was an absolute pleasure to meet all of you, to the people that came and asked for photos, and of course once again I may be taking a break from seeing the show now for a while now, actually, for that being said. But I will, of course, be returning hopefully to Six the Musical very, very soon. And as I've said already, it was a wonderful and a huge honour for me to have met you all that you went to, who I saw also when I went to see the show earlier on this week. Well, so with that being said, unfortunately we are nearly out of time for this second leg of Six the Musical, the 5 years anniversary UK tour 2023. I know, and we've had so much fun, everyone, doing this, haven't we? And honestly, guys, as I've said already, I mean, you know, so much has been going on, as I've said already, over the last few days, and especially in the UK tour Queendom, and I know that some of you didn't get the chance to see earlier on in the programme, but I managed to give away some wonderful gifts to the cast, which unbelievably before the show started, I my dad John managed to get them to one of the people, one of the usherettes at the theatre, and pass it on to some of the production team of the production backstage, and I don't think I have heard anything recently of where they've been received by any of the cast, but I have made once again my own oath of allegiance, which I did for the previous cast that I did earlier on this year in the Cambridge shows, and I've also still got a one of the versions that are still I've managed to keep in a folder, but I'm going to be using this once again for something very special planned later on in the year. And of course, guys, even though, as I've said already, we are halfway through the year of 2023 now, in the month of June, but I know you can't see it. I might have showed you this before, but I have still got an example which I showed to the West End Queens of the Royal West End Coronation sing-along performance from earlier on this year. And honestly, guys, I've had an absolute pleasure making them, of course, for all of the cast, and every single cast member, even though if they weren't on, of course, from earlier on tonight, like with Izzy, Tamara, and also Ellie, Jane, and Aofi, they've all got their own individual one that is going to be sent to them, and I've also got one very special planned also as well, because I've, for any of you who did not know, also I can also quickly tease about another one that I have made. And like I said already, since we just briefly mentioned the band earlier on, I have also made an exclusive additional Oath of Allegiance, and to also in recognition of the amazing success that the original West End cast Queens of Six the Musical have had, and now for them also being members of their own girl band, of course, SVN. This is my Six the Musical / SVN Oath of Allegiance, which is very similar to the Six one that I have made, but this one is once again to dedicate and also to acknowledge that Henry VIII, of course, because he also, a portrait of him does feature in the music video to Free, and you might remember, of course, I did do my own reaction to that last year when the song came out, and it's very much the same as I said, the original Six, the Musical Oath of Allegiance, where as it says from, I can just quickly recite what I actually put in there, and it says, I, Henry VIII, former King of England, Ireland and France, and former head of the Church of England, swear by Almighty God that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to both the original West End Queens of Six the Musical and to all the band members of SVN, their heiresses and successors according to law. So please help me God. I will give my loyalty to both the Queendom and Seven Nation, SVN Nation, and respect all its rights and freedoms. I will, as in duty bound, honestly and faithfully defend the original West End Queens of VI the musical and all the band members of SVN, their heiresses and successors, in person, crown and dignity against all enemies, and will observe and obey all orders of the original West End Queens of VI the musical and all the band members of SVN, their heiresses and successors set over me. You're one of a kind, no category, too many years lost in his story. Now you are free to take your crowning glory. You're free to be who you wanna be. Just let go and you'll see. Just know that there's something about you. Something about you. There you go, everybody. That, of course, is a reference to one of the lyrics from one of their recent songs that they brought out around this time last year. Once again, Free. And of course, guys, I am very, very excited to announce that unbelievably, of course, I know I have already said that I will be heading there later on in the year, of course, in the month of October of MusicalCon 2023. And I have heard, unbelievably, for a second time since joining there, and of course also performing there last year, SVN will be performing there once again at MusicalCon 2023. Excuse me there, I think I just done silent belch there. My apologies. But there we go, guys. As I've said already, I am very excited to hopefully meet them again, and especially after when I did see them with their first headline gig that they did at the O2 Academy, Islington, last August from last year in 2022. For any of you who do not know, of course, or if you have not seen that episode, of course, that special episode from my other, of course, theatre-themed vlog series of Theatre See It Safely, there is a link in the video description box below where you can look back on that incredible event when I went to see that. And with also that being said, there are loads more exciting events and shows that I'll be seeing later on in the year, once again, of 2023.
Welcome to Hollywood! What's your dream?
Line up! Price for the newsies goes up in the morning.
Newsies, we're forming a union.
Newsies on a mission, kill the competition. Sell the next edition. Out there, carrying the banner, see us out there. Carrying the banner, always out there. Carrying the banner.
Time these kids learned a lesson.
I wanna be in the room where it happens, the room where it happens. I wanna be in the room. I've got to be. I've got to be. I've gotta be in the room where it happens. I wanna be in the room where it happens. Click, boom.
Well, there you go, guys. I know that was quite a lot that we just showed you just earlier on there, but as I said already, guys, we have got some incredible upcoming events, and this may once again, of course, be the last time that we are seeing SVN for that matter, of a Six the Musical, any of the, whether it be the West End production or also the UK touring production. But like I said, guys, I am very excited to announce that I was gifted, of course, like I mentioned in the previous programme, of Theatre See It Safely when I went to see Samantha Barks in concert at Theatre Royal Drury Lane, that I am very excited to announce that later on from this week, and of course also of all days on the 17th of June 2023, Father's Day of all days, as I've said already, I am going to be very fortunate enough to go to the final ever performance of the current West End run production of Pretty Woman the Musical, starring former, of course, original Catherine Howard in Six the Musical of Amy Atkinson. And even though he just left the show quite recently, famous actor Danny Mack, but famous actor, of course, and seasoned actor from the West End, who is famous, who have just left recently for playing the role of William Shakespeare in the jukebox musical version of the very famous musical of Anne Juliet. Oliver Tomset will be joining her on stage as well, and even former, of course, West End Anne Boleyn, of course, of Courtney Bowman, who also took over from Millie O'Connell in the Arts Theatre back in 2019. Was incredible to see her get that chance to perform in the show. But she has done a lot more than just that, as well as playing the role of I was going to say Big Cook there. No, I meant to say Little Cook Small of course, of the revival series of famous children's cookery programme of Big Cook, Little Cook. And she will be on there alongside with Amy and Oliver there. And thanks once again to the wonderful mum of my very good friend and fellow Six the Musical super fan, and also for SVN for that matter as well, who I've met many times, and she has appeared a lot in some of these Six the Musical theme videos over the last few years, and that being Ella Gretorix. Of course, her mum, Emma, was very lucky and very grateful enough, very generously enough, offered me a chance to go and see the show with Ella, and I've got a huge thing planned, since it is the final show, which I wouldn't expect to go and see normally from a run that I've seen of the show, but it was quite unusual, but I still am very grateful enough to know that I have heard that Amy, Oliver and Courtney are on for the final show, and it will be a matinee performance, and it will be done at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and that will be from the very lavish Savoy Theatre, just adjacent to the luxurious and trademark and signature, of course, hotel in London of the Savoy, and I'm very, very excited to be going there, and I've got obviously sticking with, of course, with the very famous signature outfits that were worn in the original film, of course, of Pretty Woman, which inspired the musical initially. Obviously the very famous pairing of Julia Roberts and Richard Gere. I am going to be cosplaying in the very signature opera outfits that once again Richard Gere wore as his character Edward Lewis in the original film, and that's what also Oliver will be wearing too. Also, I do have my own, of course, very swanky that would be tuxedo or dinner suit as well, which I bought quite recently over the last few weeks, and you'll be seeing that, of course, in a special episode once again of Theatre See It Safely later on this week. And also, since, of course, as I mentioned earlier on, since it was my 29th birthday, one of the many gifts that I was given was tickets to go and see one of my favourite musicals at the moment in London's West End. and that's being Newsies the Musical by, of course, the very famous Disney musical, which is currently still being doing performances at the Troubadour Wembley Park Theatre, just off Wembley Stadium, and I am very lucky to announce and very excited to announce that I'll be going to see that show again, and another, once again, what they call Fancy Night. I know that of course, the last time I did one of these, you can get a chance to dress up as your favourite character from the show. They're running a competition. If you if you obviously can make a cosplay and it impresses. I don't know who decide. I'm not sure if it's the cast or the production team or anyone that works at the theatre, but I will be doing that, and I've got a very exciting, of course, Jack Kelly cosplay planned. I've already done one which was based off the style of clothing that was worn when Christian Bale played him in the original film from 1992, which marked its 30th anniversary from last year. But I am going to do it a lot more closer to the one that's been worn by the main actor, who, of course, I'm trying to remember the top of his name, but I think his first name is, oh yes, sorry, I think it was Michael Amakar. I can't catch his surname there, unfortunately, but I have heard of him before, and as I've said before, hopefully I'll be seeing him next month. And of course, to also clarify, everybody, that I will be seeing it on the 22nd of July, and I think tickets are still available if you are interested to going to see. That will be the final Fancy Night performance of the run, because on the 31st of July will be the last scheduled performance. It has been extended because of how popular the production has been quite recently, and if you haven't not yet seen the show, I urge you that I highly recommend you should go and see it, because it's been one of my favourite shows, and like I said right at the beginning of the year, it was one that I was really keen on seeing, and it certainly did not disappoint, and it was an incredible, immersive, may I add, production. I mean, you know, you feel like you're part of it. You're in the city of New York back in the 1800s, and of course reliving that fateful, of course, few months of the famous newsboys strike of 1899. And actually, I've just been told by our producers that that will be the date when we go and see that is actually the same date back in 1899 when the newsboys strike actually started, everybody. How incredible is that? That is certainly something I was certainly not expecting, but I will be highlighting that all once again on a Theatre See It Safely special, once again of Newsies, from also, which including footage, because I didn't wrap up on the first time I saw the show with the footage from the very first time I saw the show, but there's going to be a double helping of that, so that's going to be very, very exciting also for when you guys finally see that also here on YouTube, and even especially if you are going to be one of those many people who will get a chance to see that show for the last time before it closes next month. And also, as I am continuing on with another, of course, gift of tickets that I was given by both my mum and my dad, Samantha and John Wright, I will also be, for the first time ever, since I've only seen the show once on a bootleg of all things on YouTube during lockdown 2020, and that is the very famous of Hamilton the Musical, currently in the West End at the moment. And that once again, I can't exactly remember the name of the theatre, but I know that it also recently had a refurbishment, and has been built especially to host and also be doing the performances of this current production of the show in the West End. And I'm very, very excited to announce that I will be seeing Hamilton the Musical next month as well included. And with also that being said, guys, I've also I'd like to announce also that alongside that I have got my own costume, which I have worn previously but I will not be telling you what I'm going to be going dressed as just yet, of course. But I'm really excited to be covering that also on my theatre vlog series, A Fear to See It Safely. And also with that being said as well, of course, as if some of you may remember that I mentioned this at the last Six the Musical show that I saw last time, which was the Royal West End Coronation Sing-Along 2023 performance. And that is, of course, even though it just finished yesterday, but I won't give you any spoilers, of course, there is another reminder that, of course, you can also still catch highlights of the biggest charity football match in the world, and that is Soccer Aid for UNICEF 2023, where England faced the Soccer Aid World 11 Football Club at Old Trafford in Manchester. And even though the match finished, of course, if you still have yet to see the match from yesterday when the match happened, I won't spoil the score for you, but it is a very good watch. It was very close at times, and honestly, it was, I think, one of the most eventful games of charity football that I've ever seen. And an amazing amount of money. I think over £14 million was raised on that night when the match took place. And but once again, just to clarify, guys, that doesn't mean you can't stop donating, and of course you can still donate once again to, of course, UNICEF, and by going to the official website of www.unicef.org.uk. No, just only from the smallest amount can help anyone, and children coming from disadvantaged backgrounds who may have disabilities, who have had to leave their homes because of war, conflict, or also natural disasters, whether it be mudslides or also tropical storms. And even the worst case scenario, also including either getting unfortunate health conditions of pneumonia and also malaria, also that horrible disease as well, and also having your life getting of course, children make sure they get their essential life-saving vaccines and to protect them from disease, and also as well, that another ongoing thing as well is the malnutrition of many children around from most parts of I think it was somewhere in I can't remember which country it was in Africa, but I did hear that it was quite a big thing quite recently. And but all of the money that had been raised from that night, and also still currently now, they are still going to be open until the end of next month in July. And once again, you can, and no amount is ever too small to donate, and you can also still I think you can still do it right now. From just being clarified or just being checked by our production team, that you can also type the words of in of course letters, text the word 10, 20, 30 or 40 to 80180, I think is the number there. I could be wrong, but if it is on the screen and it's a different number, I haven't got my phone at the moment, obviously, to clarify that, because it's currently on charge. But as I said already, I mean, it's very important, once again, to raise as much money for UNICEF, and no matter how much that you donate, it will go to a very important and hopefully, without a doubt, obviously, a life-saving cause as well. And as I said before, the incredible charity event, it's the 12th time that they have done it since 2006, and you can see once again highlights of that match also currently on ITVX, and also online on YouTube on the official YouTube channel of Soccer Aid for UNICEF. Well, with also that being said, and of course I feel like I'm getting quite tired now from all of that being mentioned right now, but guys, it has been an absolute honour, and I can't believe we are now I'm about to officially say that is it for once again, and for also even not just, of course, this show, but also I am currently not being told that I am going to be seeing Six the Musical for the remainder of this year, but that could be all set to change, everybody. But of course, you can keep up on my social media to find out if I do get the chance to go and see it again. But once again, guys, if you did see earlier on, I'm very excited to be going once again to MusicalCon 2023 at the Excel Centre in London on the 21st and 22nd of October later on this year. And I will be, of course, returning as Henry VIII again. And yes, guys, honestly, I'm very excited to also include my Jack Kelly cosplay from Newsies as well as part of the weekend convention. And I'm currently also rehearsing for also that I will be not just covering the event when I am there, but I hope to also be a part of all of the competitions that are being done there, and that including the cosplay masquerade that I was a part of last year when I dressed up also as the artilleryman from Jeff Wayne's musical version of The War of the Worlds, which also earlier on this week in particular also celebrates its 45th anniversary since the album came out on the 9th of June 1978. And as I've said already, the musical has become a new favourite of mine for over the last few years, since I've been lucky enough to see it twice on tour across the UK, in both the places of Nottingham and also London, also as well, at the O2 Arena as well included also. And was it London there? Did I get that right? Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, of course. I just had to clarify there with our production team, yes. Even though that, as I've said before, it's been 5 years since I actually first saw that show, and then I saw it once again last year at the, I think it was the Motorpoint Arena in Nottingham, and it was a fantastic show, guys. But of course, going slightly off topic there, I am very excited to I'm currently in rehearsals and practicing very, very hard and working really hard on singing also, to also be part of the Star Musical Con competition and also the lip sync competition as well. There is loads going to be, of course, happening, and I'm very, very excited to also say that I hopefully won't get caught in a queue when I met Ben Forster from West End, of course, hit musical of Phantom of the Opera, and there's also a Queendom fan meet of people who make their own, who have even made their own costumes based off the original costume designs from Gabriella Slade of Six the Musical. Guys, I mean, I could go on and on and on about this, but I'm really, really excited, and it may only be a few months away, guys, but if you haven't, or once again, got tickets for MusicalCon 2023, there's still time, and of course, you can go to the official website, which is just down below, and that is www.musicalcon.co.uk. Well, with also that being said, of course, we are now going to, of course, wrap things up now. And like I said, that is the end for the second leg performance of Six the Musical, the 5 years anniversary UK tour 2023. But I think also, I think it's not actually that's the right title for this show, really, because later on, of course, next month, from the 31st of July, will mark the unofficial 6th anniversary of Six the Musical, the very first amateur production that was done at the ADC Theatre in Cambridgeshire, and I can't believe it has come such a long way. It's been an amazing time to celebrate the show and how much it has gone on to achieve. And with also that being said, I know that, of course, this may be the end of the time that I'm seeing Six the Musical for the moment, everybody. Just remember that. I am still going to get the chance to still go and see the show, since it's one of my favourites, alongside Newsies at the moment, as I mentioned earlier on this programme. But also, there is another place, and believe it or not, guys, you wouldn't expect, of course, this place to be hosting, and also an upcoming production of the show of Six is going to be heading there later on in a few months' time of this year, once again in 2023.
Hey, Queen!
tickets for Amsterdam are almost gone, or already gone by the time you're seeing this. And Rotterdam is almost sold out too, so hurry up and get your tickets! See you there!
Yes, that's right, everybody. Of course, we couldn't leave that out, could we, everybody? Well, of course, as I said already, just to clarify, also, if you think, of course, the current cast of the UK touring production of Six the Musical are only just going to be performing all across the UK from the remainder of this year, and even going into next year of 2024, well, you're absolutely mistaken, because later on this year, in, of course, I don't know which month it was, but as you did see earlier on, that is, of course, the upcoming trailer for the upcoming Dutch production of Six the Musical, which will be done both in the places of Rotterdam and the capital of Amsterdam, and that will also feature the current cast that have been performing, which we saw earlier on just last week, and I can't wait to see them get the chance, just like the previous UK touring cast from who just left earlier on this year, when they took to promote, of course, the first ever in another language production of the show itself, done in South Korea as well, and that's quite incredible. I mean, you know, there is still no let up for this show, everybody, and it's quite amazing that this show is just keeps going on from strength to strength. And guys, it has been an absolute pleasure looking back on some incredible memories that we've had for, of course, over the 5 years, and may that now add, of course, 6 years now, of course, coming up from next month of Six the Musical. But of course, I think just for a laugh, as it's of course the upcoming 6th anniversary coming up of Six, the current production that has been going on since the 21st, the 31st actually, I meant to say there, of July 2018, or 17, my apologies, I was going to say there. But of course, we are going to now look back on, of course, our last bit of production's history to wrap things up and to bring, of course, a curtain down on this performance. And guys, I am so excited to finish off with, I think, one of the most biggest performances that I think has ever been done in one place for any production or cast of a particular production of Six the Musical in the whole history of when it was first written. And guys, I am proud to say that, of course, we're gonna have a look now at the last UK touring cast of once again of Chloe Hart, Jennifer Caldwell, Casey Al-Shaxi, and I think it was also, just to clarify, I think Jessica Niles, Rebecca Wicks, and also what was her name? I'm trying to remember. What was it? I'm trying to remember her name, guys. Oh yes, it was, yeah, Alana, of course, Rhea Robinson, and of course, like I said already, that of course was the cast from the previous UK touring production of Six. But of course, like I said already, I think the biggest turnout of any performance that in the whole history of the show has to be from earlier on this year, when of course, the cast performed at the AO Arena in Manchester, the biggest arena in the whole of the UK, with over an amazing, I couldn't even remember the amount, I think it was about 20,000 people inside, or was it 18? I couldn't remember the exact number, guys, but when I actually saw this performance, guys, it was incredible. And we also got a chance to see the first ever time of the song House of Holbein being performed, and also a mashup of also the song Six at the end. And guys, it was incredible to see. Oh, was it? Oh, sorry, 13. It was a 13,000. My apologies. as I've said before, my knowledge on the capacity of certain arenas in, of course, the United Kingdom is definitely not the best. And I was also going to say that nearly was going to be somewhere in the United States as well. I think I'm getting a bit delirious, everybody, and I'm getting tired because I've been full out, of course, doing other things in my personal life. But with that being said, I would just like to say a huge thank you to everyone on, of course, the production team of Six the Musical, the 5 years anniversary UK Tour 2023, for both the show, the first leg show in Cambridge from earlier on this year in January, and to the one here in Peterborough, of course, from in June as of this month. And also to the amazing casts that I have saw both times, both the 4th and 5th that I just saw from last week. And also, with that being said, also a massive thank you to you as well. I mean, as I've said already, it has been an absolute pleasure to have done this show again. And as I've said before, I mean, you know, as I said, I love doing it every single time. But I hope you've enjoyed this, of course, elongated, I think, a video. It may be not as long as the previous episode, but of course we are going to, of course, go out in with an absolute bang to celebrate once again the unofficial 6th anniversary of the production, the very first initial amateur production of Six the Musical, and to, of course, play us out with the previous UK touring cast production of Six the Musical, singing both the songs House of Holbein and Six from the National Lottery Big Night of Musicals from the Manchester AO Arena in Manchester. Here they are performing as our final bit of production's history to celebrate once again the unofficial 6th anniversary of Six the Musical. Thank you very much, everybody, and I hope to see you very, very soon when I'll be returning to, of course, this very royal musical very, very soon. Now, with that being said, I'm going to go and shave this beard off because this is going to be not the last time you'll see me as Henry, but it's nice that, of course, with other things coming up in... Hi again, everyone. It's me, Jack Wright, here from Six the Musical, the second leg performance of the 5 years anniversary UK touring production of Six the Musical from Peterborough New Theatre in Peterborough, East Cambridgeshire. And I would just like to apologise for the abrupt cut in the video there. The reason why that happened was because, unfortunately, the time when I was filming this, the SD card was then classified full on my camcorder, so that's why I didn't get the chance to wrap up. But this is the reason why I'm doing this quick little unexpected announcement at the end of the video. But I hope that you've enjoyed the programme that you have seen, even though it's almost been over 3 hours long, this whole video. I think it's the longest I've ever done with any themed video that I've done around this very royal musical of Six the Musical. But once again, just for a laugh, as it is once again coming up to, once again, by the time that you may be watching this, the unofficial 6th anniversary of the very first amateur production of Six the Musical, done once again at the ADC Theatre in Cambridge by Cambridge University Musical Theatre Society back on the 31st of July 2017. We are going to have one additional performance from the previous cast of the UK touring production of Six the Musical, including Chloe Hart, Jennifer Caldwell, Casey Al-Shaxi, Rebecca Niles, Rebecca Wicks and Alana Rhea Robinson, as they perform a mashup of both the songs of House of Holbein and Six from their performance they did earlier on this year at the National Lottery Big Night of Musicals from the Manchester AO Arena in Manchester. We hope you enjoyed this programme and video exclusively live here on YouTube. And as always, until next time, until another Six the Musical theme video here on my official YouTube channel, au revoir, adios, au wiedersehen. From me, Jack Wright, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you very, very soon. Goodbye for now. And most importantly, here's to the unofficial 6th anniversary of Six the Musical!
Seeing as Henry was running out of women to marry in England, he had to look a little further afield, had to adjust his location settings, if you will. To find his next queen, we're heading to Germany, where he enlisted the help of the legendary painter, Hans Holbein. Take them to the house of Holbein, yeah! The house of Holbein.
Hans Holbein goes about the world, painting all of the beautiful girls.
From Spain to France and Germany,
The king chooses one.
but which one will it be? You bring the corsets, it brings the cinches. No one but the best over 9 inches. No matter makeup contains lead poison. Boost your complexion, but bring out the boys in.
Ignore the fear and you'll be fine. It turns its fear into a 9. So just say yeah and don't say nine. You're in the house of Holbein, yeah! Oh yeah! This is good, oh yeah! Yeah! The house of Holbein.
We must make sure the princesses look great when their time comes for a Holbein portrait.
We know what all the best inventions are to hold everything up.
Yeah, it's wonderful! For blonder hairs and you just add a magical ingredient from your bladder.
Try these heels so high, it's naughty.
But we cannot guarantee that you'll still walk at 40.
Ignore the fear and you'll be fine. They'll turn its fear into a 9. So just say yeah and don't say nine. 'Cause now you're in the house of Holbein. Oh yeah. This is good, oh yeah. Yeah. The house of Holbein. We're one of a kind, no category. Too many years lost in the story. We're free to take our crown in glory for 5 more minutes. We're 6. Whoa, whoa, we're 6. Whoa, oh, oh, we're 6. Whoa, whoa, for 5 more minutes. It's the end of the show, of the history mix. We switched up the flow and we changed the prefix. Everybody knows that we used to be 6. Why?